So this is a chance for us to introduce this brand new truck, and it's so new. You basically just like ran it right now.
Yeah, it was.
That was it.
Yeah, first sort of test run.
Yeah.
Hot off the press.
It still smells like paint.
Yeah, it's that fresh. It's certainly just finishing up. And you know, I'm not even quite done. There's a few little add-ons that need to be done, but I thought I'd bring it out and everyone could have a look-see.
Wow, that's all I can say.
Thank you.
This is amazing.
Thank you very much.
And it's really, this thing is a testament to the artistry that you put into your trucks. We've got your Blazer here too.
Right.
Which we've done reviews on, and people have seen it in the videos, and so, you know, this thing really has its own mark on the RC world already. And now you've just unloaded this brand new rendition here, this absolutely gorgeous Chevrolet. I mean, this thing is amazing. I can't believe how totally slammed it is.
Thank you.
And, you know, the suspension is so incredible on this thing. It's just so scale, so stock. It's just, wow. I can't even talk. It's so amazing.
Well, yeah, this came together with a lot of RC friends in the you know, in the network there, and a lot of you know, different people sort of came together to make this happen. But yeah, it was a labor of love. And, you know, our buddy Sang gave me, I got the body off him, so that's the metallic clawed body. And then, of course, it's got the GCM Skeleton J2 chassis. And then I've got a few other pieces along the way that I sort of collected, and then through our long winter decided to see if I can come up with something that is represented in this.
So, did you just make this gas can here too?
Yeah, that was. I found that just laying around, and so I thought I'd paint it up and add to the scale of this vehicle.
Wow!
Thank you.
Now, so fill me in here. This is it's a clodbuster body.
Yeah, it's a clodbuster body. Absolutely.
Except that the bed is obviously like super deep and huge.
Yeah, so that's again another donation. Chris gave me that. That was you know, sort of universal drop-in kit, and then you had to sort of put it together and so on and so forth. So that's what I did there. I had to add the sides and so on, but yeah, custom built, full box.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
And up front, you I know on your Blazer build you had the grille with the no lettering in it, and then you don't have the lettering on this one either.
Well, yeah, I do, believe it or not, but I don't. With this particular clawed body, and as we all know, the newer ones, they have that 4x4x4, and you know, it really looks kind of hokey. So what do you do, right? Like, how do you sort of get rid of that if you don't have the vintage one around, which aren't available anymore? Yeah. And what do you do? So I thought, well, why don't I see if I can put some headlights in front of that, you know, sort of, you know, the Baja headlight concept. And in doing so, I thought, well, maybe I can put them in the front grille to hide, disappear, get rid of the 4x4x4, and so that's kind of what I did up front, and I think it represents well with the nice little fog lights as an addition, and it sort of just adds the full effect on the front there.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
You've obviously you're trying to follow a theme here, so I'm trying to figure out what's the theme going on here. You've got the Bel-Ray decals going on. There's Valvoline on the back. This is kind of like, is it race sponsored, or what am I looking at? Well, yeah,
a great question. You know, as we've discussed before, inspiration in the hobby, and where did all of these sort of come together? And again, I had some friends donate some parts and you know, trade and purchase and so on and so forth. But the stickers, the Bel-Ray stickers, are actually vintage. From the rough buggy back in the Tamiya days in the 80s. So those are actually vintage 80s, donated by you, thank you very much. And then the little GCM sticker on top, and then of course on the front. And you'll notice on the front, it took hours, but on the Claude they have that sort of blower motor that sits on the front.
On the hood.
And so I had to fill that void in there and then make it look like, and then create the hip in the front, or the little ridge in the front there. Like, that just took hours and hours. And then to put the decal work on top of that just came out perfect. It is, you know, it's almost the basement racing, and we have a basement series that if you guys are following out there, or track truck.
Yeah.
You know, I envision this in the corner of a racetrack, where it's, you know, putting down speedy absorball, or it's, you know, or it's at the racetrack garage. And you know, the guy's pulling up and he's supplying some lubricants or what have you, and that's homage to the Bel-Ray Total Performance Lubricants sticker that's on there. So it just kind of, you know, it evolved as I went along, but I thought, you know, this sort of racetrack service truck would be its best sort of scenario, and that's how it came to be. And with the sponsorships of Bel-Ray and GCM on the side, I think it just came out perfect.
It sure did.
Thanks. Thanks.
So the part that's so incredibly unbelievable to me, you know, as a mechanical guy, you know, I'm into the design and the technical side of things. You do really well with this, the artistry there, that's for sure. I mean, it's gorgeous.
Thank you.
But when I look at this, technically speaking, I'm saying to myself, this has to be a plastic model kit that's not an RC. Because, I mean, the bed is empty, and it's full depth right to the frame rail.
Yeah.
The interior is well down the door here on the inside. I tried to show you that earlier, but there's like a full bench seat and everything. The guys, I think it's a full knees up interior with a bench and a floor shifter for the 4x4 and everything.
Yeah.
You know? And where on earth did you manage to shove all of the equipment to make this thing run?
Well, and the GCM Skeleton chassis out there is incredible, and it really sort of was the roadmap for me to be able to create this vehicle. And you know, you've got to start with good roots, and that's where that chassis came in. And I was able to, with the design that it is, great work.
Thank you.
I was able to actually manage to get most of the electronics up front, along with the motor. There's actually a winch in there, and it's all compact and in the front, just like a real vehicle, where the motor's up front, most of the weight's up front, and this really goes back into the performance and the balance of the truck. And this GCM Skeleton chassis really sort of warranted me and enabled me to do this. So that's kind of why the mechanics, the suspension, how it sits, that's why it all worked. He started off with some really good bones. So yeah, it certainly was a labor of love, and it just came out really good. I'm really pleased with it.
Thank you for the props on the chassis. I mean,
oh yeah.
I've enjoyed building it, but it's so nice to hear from another builder.
Yeah.
You know what your experience was, and that's really exciting for me.
And what I wanted to do here, and for those out there that know that newish chassis from GCM is, you know, this is the full comp sort of edition, where it's got 4-link on the back.
The ultimate combo, yeah.
That's right, the ultimate combo, and it's got, you know, 4-link on the back, 3-link in the front.
Yeah.
K44 chassis, axles marry up to it perfect. And I've got the dinky cantilever rear suspension.
Yeah.
That whole package with getting the motor and all the electronics up front, it was just a really fun build, really nice build, really came together. Well, I mean, look at it. It's just...
It fits this Claude body so well.
Yeah, it does.
That's amazing. And it's got that stock ride height that I love, because I'm all about, you know, keeping it real and stock and low, and that's what I'm always about with my builds.
You bet.
And this really fits that with the 155 tire.
Perfect. And nice. I really like these 155s. I got these. They were another donation kind of thing. They just kind of appeared at my doorstep. And you know, what do you use 155s? I mean, there's bodies out there, but what body are you going to use? And then I was talking to my buddy Sang, and he's like, I got a Claude body, and of course that was the good fit, right? The Claude body with the 155s, and these are the TF2 stock tires. Looked good, perfect fit. I thought, what the heck, right? And then if you'll notice, it's hard to see, but like the scale and the little added touches, if you look at the hubs, those are those GCM hubs on the front and the rear, and I mean, just finished it off just right.
They match up nice, eh?
Yeah, they really look good. They look good. And then, you know, just sort of looking, moving forward, warm white LEDs, not your sort of high intensity ones. Again, stock. Cut out the amber lights in the front to add that as a little bit of scaleism. Antenna, the whole bit. The interior, again, we go back to that. That was a lot of work. Just an amazing amount of work.
And it's the scale interior, you know, it's got that old Chevy wraparound dash there with the multi-gauge lines, and it's just incredible.
Yeah.
Really, really nicely done.
All custom interior where I looked at an actual, like a lot of us do nowadays, where we look at the real thing and then try to mimic it, and that's exactly what I did. I really tried to sort of go after what it would look like in the one-to-one version. Got a plaid bench seat.
Oh, of course.
You know, I've got a 3D printed head on that.
Yeah.
And I kind of mimicked it to look like me. He's got glasses on and
that's nice.
Got the dash lit up, and he's going to be holding a Timmy's roll up the rim cup at some point.
Yeah.
That's in the mail, so that's, I think, top shelf hobbies.
Need your coffee.
Yeah, need your coffee.
By the way, I'll put links down below for all of the stuff that he's talking about, all this equipment.
Yeah. And then, you know, you got to light the thing up, and yeah, it was started in January, just finished it now, so what are we coming up to May? And
yeah, 4 months of hard work.
Yeah, it was a lot of work, and yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. You know, when you're doing this too, like it's especially a hard body, well, even Lexan.
Yeah.
You know, I painted it up, and you're never sure what it's going to look like, and after I painted it, I was like, yeah, that's exactly what the vision was in my head, and it really sort of bode well to that sort of service truck feel to it.
Oh yeah.
So I'm again, as I said, I'm quite pleased with it.
So you want to see inside?
Yeah, let's. Why don't we open it up? I'll get this opened up fairly quickly, and we can see what it looks like inside.
I saw this when it was a raw shell.
Yeah.
And you had just figured out how to marry the frame onto the Clodbuster.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when you started that project, I remember thinking, wow, this is really clever. So I can't wait to show this off because you did it so simply.
Thank you.
But it's so easily serviced now.
Oh, I know, and you know, you sort of inspired me in that, you know, where you can sort of have a hinge on the front of it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so to service it, to sort of whatever you need to do, you just kind of put it up on a hinge, and away you go. Just
Look
like
at that, eh? So this thing, let me move this ahead a bit. This truck is hinged at the front.
Yep.
Right in there.
Yep.
On the front of the frame rail. And then all the stuff is all in the front. So you've got the motor, the transmission, your 3-cell battery.
3-cell, 1.3.
Yeah.
So it's a smaller one, but 3-cell.
Yeah, more than enough actually.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then all your electronics are up in the front. The Beck is in there.
That's right.
There's a TZI winch.
That's correct.
In the front.
Yeah.
A TZI winch in the front. You should be able to drag this thing out of any mud.
Yeah.
Any muck you could possibly get it stuck in.
Yeah.
And then the transfer case is on the middle, the same as all the other skeleton chassis setups.
Yep.
And you've got steel shafts everywhere. It looks to me like the drivetrain is basically bomb-proof.
Yeah, those K44s are really, really nice. And then I've got, the metal axles or half shafts, what have you. Certainly will, hopefully bulletproof.
Wow. So that's all that stuff is in the nose. I mean, there's nothing in the tail of this truck at all except suspension.
That's correct.
And it's all there.
Yep, and there's a little bit of wiring harness. It's, you know, it is just as it comes. It probably will morph and a few things add on as we go through the summer, but this is, it's trial run, it's first run. I'm quite pleased with it.
You should be. Very nicely done.
Yeah, it worked out well, so I'm really happy.
We'll tuck these wires out of the way here.
Yep. So it was 6 months of a lot of work. 6 months of you know, we had a long winter here, as we've described before.
We sure did.
I'll just push the battery in here. Hold on, folks. Get that for you. There you go.
Wow. So nice to have all that be able to fit inside, and I see you've got a little wiring harness in the back here to keep it out of the drivetrain.
Yeah.
I'll let you put that together.
Yep. So that's it. Just a couple.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Wow.
There we go. So it's back together. Again, it was a long winter, but it's done. I hope to have a lot of fun with it this summer.
Oh, you will.
You know, it's one of those things when you go to these efforts, and you know, it's almost a work of art, to be honest.
Yeah.
But when you put this time and effort, and you know, all you want to do is head out on the trails and rip around, but not too much, right? You don't want to scratch it. It's almost like it's a truck in real 1-to-1, right? Like you almost like, do I want to scratch it? So I'll be ginger with it for a while and
rip slowly.
Yeah, just sort of. Again, we talk about scale and scale speed for this probably. So it will see some trail time, but I won't see a lot of rock time at this point. But
I hear you're gonna try to showcase it at East Coast Scale Challenge.
I'd like to. I've seen you've sent me a few links of some of the stuff that's being done out there, and it's incredible. So I really had to sort of up my ante. And so, you know, because of that competition from last year and we're going this year, it was also an inspiration, and it also sort of said, okay, well, you know, I need to produce something that's gonna show well at this comp. So I'm excited for it.
Well, I want to say thanks for using the GCM chassis, because this shows a whole new side to that skeleton setup that I had not thought of.
Well, thank you for allowing me to use it, and you know, it's just an incredible chassis. It really worked out well.
Sure
and
did.
You know, like this is what would we consider this, like a 1/12 scale?
The body, I think, is really small. Yeah,
it's small. Like when I was putting this together, I didn't realize, compared to the Blazer and some of the Hiluxes out there, that this is quite small. It's really compact.
Yeah.
And that was a big challenge. And again, so the chassis allowed me to do that, allowed to get everything sort of nice and neat and tucked away. So yeah, it was great. Great fun build.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
We're really happy to show this off. It's been months and months in the making. We've been talking about doing this video.
Yeah.
So nice to finally have it. What are you going to add to it?
Well, he's going to be carrying, I think I might have said, a Timmy's cup.
Yeah.
I'm going to scale out the back, you know, put some scale. But you know what? It's probably a scale exhaust, maybe.
So a couple of little additions for some detail work.
Yeah, nothing major. Again, I like the stock appearance.
I sure do.
So I'm just going to add a little bit here and there, just a little bits and pieces here and there, but nothing major. So just get it on the trail, throw a little bit of dust on it, not too much, and and head on to East Coast Scale Comp come August.
Well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Enjoy the video, guys.
Yep.
Good to see you.